Hello and welcome back to the Monsters of Monster Hunter Double Cross, where today we are playing with Teostra, who I personally find to be the most dangerous of the Gen 2 Elder Dragon trio. But that just means that we're going to have a fun time ahead of us. Using Adept Longsword because it gives me more options to get out of dangerous situations, and I have dropped the attack up large I had on this armor set down to... I forgot to eat. Down to attack up medium in exchange for getting myself some immunity to blast. Because for whatever reason, when they brought Teo forward to Gen 4, they decided, hey, you know what? We should just give that guy some blast. He's already the hardest of these three Elder Dragons. Might as well just make him a little bit tougher. And yes, specifically him, Teo, like Rathalos, is the male example of his species. The female, in this case, being Lunastra, who hasn't been seen since Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. And this is a pretty big Teo. Also, I love Teo's music. Though, admittedly, my favorite part of Teo's music is just the percussion right at the entrance that goes... bum, 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 bum. Gets the blood going. Ow. Unfortunately, in terms of actually fighting Teo in Gen 4, they definitely could have done better. I do like a lot of the things that they've added to him to make him a more interesting fight. Like, he's got a lot more ways to go with this powder exploding stuff than he used to. But unfortunately, that charge right there is still basically a full body hitbox, and the hitbox is active as soon as the animation starts. Any animation that doesn't give you any chance whatsoever to dodge it is not great in my book. Also, the way they made it so that, like, everything gets this kind of heat haze and goes all orangish when he's enraged. That's pretty cool. And also cool about his rage is the supernova that he ends it with if you don't either flinch his face or ride him or cut his tail or basically just do any sort of thing like that. Anything that knocks him down before, I think it's, what, 60 seconds? 80 seconds? Some amount of time. Yeah, if you don't end his rage for him quickly enough, he ends it with a very impressive supernova. And I need to stop drinking potions, like, where I can still be charged. It's not working out for me. And that is Teo's G-rank move. Always intimidating when it is pointing towards you. Though, admittedly, I feel like it was a little bit more intimidating with the visual it had in Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. That's just me. And incidentally, Teostra is, well, was originally the, well, one of the only monsters that had a flamethrower type breath attack. The rest all did fireballs, but then they made it so that when he's enraged, he instead has, like, blast breath, which, in my opinion, is less interesting. Also, that's the supernova. If it hits you, it does massive damage and is an automatic stun. Incidentally, Teo's flamethrower does get longer if he's got his flame aura up, which thankfully in this game is not all the time, whereas it was back in the olden days. Okay, fine, you can be angry. Let's not be in front of him. Yeah, his ability to do the forward and backward cones for his little explodies, that is new as of 4th gen. Because back in the olden days, if he wanted to explode powder, he either just did a close circle or a far circle. And he did them pretty frequently. So they added new ways for him to explode things. Gave him blast, gave him this blast breath. Gave him his supernova, gave him that. They added so much more to Teo than they did to either Cammy or Cushy. And I really have to wonder why. Okay, bye. Like, he was already the hardest of them, in my opinion, at least. And they just went and made him harder still. Like, he really puts the others to shame. Also, it used to require dragon damage to be able to break his horns, but nowadays it's just do enough damage to them and enough damage to him in general, because they are still a 30% break, much like they used to be. I should not have tried that, because I went in too early and then got too dead. I don't always do smart things. What's the sub? Horns and wings. Not the easiest thing, because it requires us to get them below 30%. But it should be doable. His tail can be severed at any time, which is actually really useful, because if you basically only hit it when he's raging, then you potentially get the ability to end his rage prematurely once. Fighting him with aerial style or an insect glaive can also help, though you need to be a little more careful then, because if you are trying to vault off of or jump onto him while he's going for his supernova, you're going to have a bad time. Back in 2nd gen, Teo and Lunastra were the only monsters that had flamethrower-type fire breaths, and I find that interesting. I also find it interesting that they decided to add a flamethrower fire breath to Fatalis in Gen 4. But maybe they figured giving Teo Blast was enough to make up for that. Maybe that's why they gave Teo Blast, so that it wouldn't feel so upset about Fatalis taking its deal. His deal. I'm sorry. I feel like I should have gotten a hit there, but whatever. I also feel like I should be getting hits now, but that's just because I want to, rather than because I feel like they should have been happening. Teo so rarely flies. It's nice getting a chance to actually knock him out of the air like that. Ow. Okay, pro tip, don't stand in front of Teo when he is blind, because otherwise bad things will happen to your face. And that's probably like the place where you least want bad things to happen. If you're anything like me, that is. And I guess he didn't enjoy that. least if we die again, we've got supplies. And there's the Flame Aura. Incidentally, while he does have the ability to cause Dragon Wind, as we just saw, he only does it when roaring, specifically when coming back down from a roar. Also, that Fire Breath gets longer when his Flame Aura is up. I think I already said that, though. And since we just flinched his face, we disabled his Flame Aura. But now he's mad, so it would have been disabled anyway. And I need to try and get a ride, or else I'm not going to get those wings. I also need to not have him jump into me while I'm trying to get up to a ledge, because that's just bad for my health. Of course, Teo in general is just bad for my health. Okay, I feel like I should have actually gotten a jump, but now Teo's in the way. That wasn't even a mount hit right there. And I have no way of knowing whether that had been a mount hit. That was a mount hit. Oh. Shouldn't take too many more mount hits to get us a mount. And hopefully I can get it before he decides to go all Supernova. Because I do not want him to go all Supernova on me when I'm in the air and thus unable to dodge. There we go. So if we succeed on this mount, we will end his rage, and everything will be happy forever. That last bit may or may not actually be true. Also, ending his rage before he gets a chance to go Supernova is what causes him to drop Sparklies in this game. So that's a thing, too. There are plenty of reasons to end his rage, the Supernova not being the least of them. I love when he does this breath, because it's just super easy to charge up my gauge on it. It's a really long animation with a very predictable arc of its hitbox. Like, you can see it coming a mile away. There's no difficulty whatsoever in dodging through it. This is probably not the best timing for this. Yep, I got sat on. Okay. Guess he doesn't want to be here anymore. I should have painted him. Okay, so if he's going this way, I think he goes all the way to the southwest, the area that's adjacent to the base camp. So we'll have to make our way over there. Because he never comes to this cave. At least not in my experience. And there's our buddy. Looks like he went and exploded without us. Which is honestly fine by me. I don't mind missing out on the Supernova. Because we've seen what happens when I don't miss out on it. Ow. And there was a something flinch. Let's not get hit by that. And let's actually bring our cats back once he gives us a chance. Like now. Not as big a chance as I was actually hoping for, but it worked. Got the cats back, and we are still health positive for the exchange. Really want to get this tail, end his rage that way. Wow, seriously? Nice follow through if you hit us there. Ooh. Excuse me. Health, I need you. All right. What are you doing way over there, buddy? Uh-oh. Ow. This is a long-range one, so I'm actually safer right here. Though, admittedly, with his flame aura going, I did nearly get myself killed. I'm gonna go to base camp. That's what I'm gonna do. Thankfully, he decided to do his one forward momentum attack that gets him the least distance. Okay, bed, I choose you. Please help me. Okay. That's better. And we don't need deodorant because we are immune to blast. For the record, they give us poison knives because poison cancels out his fire aura. Though admittedly, it's not really the best way to do it, in my opinion. Considering just flinch his face. Also, the fire aura is centered around his face in this game, whereas in Freedom Unite, it was around his whole body. So you can still hit his tail and his back legs without worrying about the fire aura. It's really not a huge deal. But it's not like I'm not going to use the poison knives, because poison is damage. So if we enrage him in this area, the change in the atmosphere will be even more obvious than it was at the top of the volcano. So hopefully we can get that done. There we go. Flame aura is toast. I shouldn't have dodged. I would have been just fine where I was. But my cat fixed me up, so it's all good. Just doing circles, huh? Well, whatever brings you some joy, I guess. Okay, I guess... there it is. Now everything's all oranger. Also, the flames on his beard and coursing up his arms. Those are what tell... Also on his tail. Basically, everywhere he's got hair, there's flames. And that's what tells you that a Teo's enraged, if you can't tell from the atmosphere alone. And that's also something that we're not going to be seeing once he's dead. So, get a good look now. Ow. And there goes the tail and the rage. Oops. I was holding R, and therefore couldn't adept dodge. And so I tried to let go of R to press B, but it was too late. And thanks to his predictability, we are now at red. Keep doing the circle. Or jump all the way over me, that's fine. But apparently it angered him that he jumped over me. Uh-oh. Oh. He had gone too far. Dang it. I didn't really expect that it would get the knockdown, but... I mean, you always hope. So we do need to bust the wings for the sub, and we need to bust the face for the sub, and busting the face is also just generally a good thing, because it means you're hitting his weakest hit zone and making it so that he can't use his flame aura. Yeah, busting the horns is good. And also, busting the horns means you've got him below 30% health, so that's another nice thing about it. Unfortunately, the wings are a little tough to get without mounts. Hey, there go the horns. Which comes with a knockdown, so maybe, just maybe. Nope. At least not yet. And now that he's hornless, he is forever without his flame aura. And also, he looks really dumb without his horns, I gotta say. Like, of all the monsters to break the horns on, I feel like it harms Teo's image the most. Ow. Guess we were just in range for that explosion. For the record, he causes all of his explosions by... I guess it's been, well, not retconned. It's always been the case. It's been he uses this explosive powder, and then he gnashes his teeth together to create a spark that traces to the powder and ignites it. It's always been the case, though nowadays, they decided that it should actually be able to cause blast. Well, we're not allowed to cart anymore. But that's okay. He's below 30% health, so we probably won't have that many opportunities to do so. And looks like we'll be able to grab his tail without needing to fight for it. And let's go ahead and drink this so that we can grab the last cool drink as well. And we might still be able to get the sub-quest done, because I do have these. So if he goes to bed, we can at least get one significant hit in on the wings. Usually it only takes like 2 rides to break them, so yeah. Shouldn't be too hard to get the wings. At least not if he goes to bed. If he doesn't go to bed, then we might still have some trouble, because for the most part, we can't reliably reach them. We basically need a mount if we want to actually be able to guarantee that we can damage the wings. Though admittedly, knocking him down with a face flinch, not knocking his face down. Knocking his face down is not a thing that is done. Though, we do got this right now. And had I thought to use that earlier, we might have gotten a little more damage in on them. Because the cat hit me to free me from the first roar stun, I was unable to dodge the second one. Good job, cat. Ow. That's right, I don't have that cat being blast immune. Oops. Because blast is the worst possible status for a cat to get, because it takes them completely out of the fight for until they explode. And it explodes them. It's basically a stun that does damage when it ends. Yeah, that was a little too risky. Especially with me not being allowed to cart anymore. I can't afford to go for face flinches that I don't know are coming. Yeah. That attack's got actually a fairly limited hitbox. But when he uses it towards you, it's still terrifying, like, every time. Even if you know you're not likely to get hit. It's just... it's frightening. Now, I'm pretty sure Teo sleeps actually all the way up at the top in this game. In the olden days, he slept in here because the top was never accessible when a Teo was around, at least as far as I know. Let's not get supernovaed. Not getting supernovaed is one of my favorite pastimes. Hey, we got him! So, with those wings broken, we now have full brakes on this Teo, so that's nice. And now he's mad. Incidentally, the explosions with his tail sweep those used to be Lunastra exclusive, but I guess in Gen 4 they decided since Lunastra wasn't going to be around, they should add them to Teo. Gonna see if I can't coax a tail sweep out of him. Because if I can, then we might actually get to see another one with the explosions, because... well, that's not a tail sweep. Unfortunately, he does have multiple ways of hitting people behind him in this game. Used to be you didn't have so many. Okay. Okay, so it didn't have explosions there. It had powder. I guess it doesn't get explosions in this game. It just gets powder, but hey, it used to be just the tail sweeps. They didn't have anything. And killing a Teo is my favorite way to end its rage and thus prevent an explosion. Texture-wise, I mean, he's not my favorite. His main is passable, I guess. Face is pretty good. And then the arms and legs, they're okay. And the wings, eh. Yeah. He's not the best looking monster in the game. It's a fun fight, though. Dangerous because of the blast. Pretty much anything with blast is much more dangerous if you're susceptible to blast. But yeah, Teo, in my opinion, the most dangerous and most difficult of the Gen 2 trio, with Cushy coming up next. And poor Cammy taking up the rear. And that is going to be it for this episode. Join us next time when we take on the original big boy, Lao Shan Lung. See you then, friends.